What is up? Thank you for coming to my channel, Prison POV. Shout out to the members of the channel. Shout out to the Point of View crew and Trip on This. This video is going to be a part 2, sort of, kinda, of a video I did a week or so ago. And that video was institutional prison stickings. And this is going to be stickings on the street. Same but different. Same shit, different pile. Know what I mean? Because, bro, if you're in prison, running around, and the politics dictate that you must poke someone for stepping out of line, and then you hit the streets, and you're just hanging around with a bunch of parolees and other guys who just paroled from prison, bro, the politics are the same. The game does not change. If you're poking people in prison, you're going to be poking people on the street. And like I alluded to, and let me reiterate something I said in the last video, is back in the day, I was known as Stab Happy. I was what would be called Stab Happy. Not bragging, just the facts. I like to go around and get my poke on. I wasn't the only one. A gang of people doing the same damn thing. So let's just kick it off like this. I got 3 stories about some street stickings. And now this first one is just hella random. Random as can be. I can't even believe I found myself in such a circumstance. And what's odd is I found myself in this sort of circumstance, real random type-ish, all the time. I would just be like, here we go again. Because look, I'm renting a room off this guy. I just have the room and the bathroom attached to it. He had the whole house was his. He had people over. I didn't really get in his business. He didn't really get in mine. However, he was telling me of a situation. He had a homegirl, a friend of his. And this girl that he knew another girl. And that girl that she knew just had a baby with some guy she didn't know. Now, I know that sounds really kind of confusing. I even confused myself a little bit. Let me just try to simplify it. So in a nutshell, the place where I lived, my roommate knew a girl who just had a baby with a dude she didn't know. It was a one-night stand. Didn't really even know the dude. But now the baby's 2 months old or so, and she's thinking this guy needs to come around and be a baby daddy. I don't want my kid to grow up without a dad. Maybe she needed help with some diapers and some formula, some money, whatever the case may be. She's like, I need this dude around. I need him to visit his kid. And so while they're talking about that, and that's the issue, they're all involved and trying to figure it out. They're trying to decide where this visit could take place at. Now, I don't know why they didn't drag that dude to that girl's house who had the baby. Just, hey, come over to my house to see the kid. That seems like the easiest explanation or situation you could work out to me. I don't know why. I don't know why they didn't go to Starbucks. I don't know why they didn't meet anywhere. I don't know why they decided to meet at my house. Like I said, I was only renting a room, homeboy. The house wasn't even mine. I'm only in charge of what goes on in my room. Be that as it may, brother. They decide that this dude is going to come over and hang out and chill and meet his kid at our pad. And dude's explained this to me, and it kind of half-assed. I gave him my good ear, and I was absorbing it because it sounded kind of interesting. But wasn't your run-of-the-mill type situation. So dude comes over, everyone's there, my roommate, the girl he knew, the girl that she knew, the baby, and now dude comes over, he's visiting the baby. I'm in my room, I got him on the shine, I'm not even really paying attention. But somehow, and I don't know how, the dude, the dad of the baby, noticed that I had a guitar and amp in my room. I don't know if he went through my bedroom to go to the bathroom. I don't know if my door was open for a second. He caught a peek-see. I really don't know how it went down, but somehow he saw and digested the fact of, whoa, there's a guitar here. And right in the middle of sitting hanging out with this kid he had, who we just met, only met his child like 10 minutes ago. He's, oh, no, look at the little baby. Puts the baby down and comes and is like, hey, can I play your guitar now? Can I go in your room and just play your stuff? And I was just like, I guess it all seemed kind of weird to me, but hey, it just gets weirder by the minute. Bro, come on in. I don't care. Play my guitar and amp. I thought he'd do a chord or two. I didn't know what he was going to do. But I knew I wasn't going to allow it to go on for long. He goes in, plugs in, he's playing. Dude, like 10 minutes later, I finally have to stop him and say, dude, get out of my room. I wanted to say, hey, I thought you were here visiting your kid, for crying out loud. No one said anything about you coming in my room and hanging out and playing my guitar and amp. But now I got to stop right here real quick and add some detail. It's going to be important to the story. Because they will say, I don't know who they is, but we've heard it, haven't we, that say like a new booty or a fish, whatever you want to call it, someone goes to prison for the first time. When they're in there, they're going to learn about other crimes they're not privy to now, aren't they? They're going to go into prison with the one crime they committed and maybe know about a few others, but really they're going to go in there, they're going to meet hardened criminals, they're going to meet seasoned convicts, and they're going to go in there and they're going to learn how to do other crimes or learn how to do the crime that they're already doing a little bit better. They're going to get clues and they're going to tips. Prisoners network, and you go in there and you learn more stuff. Now, don't we? I mean, that's the only reason I started doing oxys, because I was locked up with the homeboy Ironwood, and he would not shut up about how awesome oxys are. These little yellow pills, Splinter. You got to get one. You take the coating off with your tongue, then you have the pill, you smash it, crush it, do whatever you wish with it. It's going to make you feel great. Bro, you got to get you this oxy, this 40, this yellow pill. He went on and on about it so much, when I got out, I got one and tried it. Just like when I'm in prison and one of my homeboys putting me up on game, he's like, Splinter, if you ever got to stick somebody, if you ever got to poke somebody, especially in the middle of a 211, it works great. Hit him right here. Hit him right here in the shoulder. It'll hurt like hell. It'll get their attention, but there's no major blood vessels. There's no arteries. There's nothing that's really going to murk them. They're not going to lose their breath. They'll be alive and kicking the next day, a couple hours later. Homie, it's just going to hurt them real bad, but it won't take them out. It's a great place to go. He's put me up on spots to poke people. And so when I got out of prison after that, I ran around trying to stick people in the shoulder. I utilized that tip every chance I got. And so, boom, here we go on with the story. Dude's playing my guitar and amp. Now, about this time, I had just gotten a $9,000 settlement. Because my dad died from mesothelioma, a special-related cancer, and I used to get settlements back in the day. And I had just gotten a $9,000 check. Now, the $9,000 check was already cashed, money already spent. However, there was a check stub still floating around my room for that $9,000. I guess I forgot to throw it away. I guess I forgot to file it away. It was just sitting there. Probably had a phone number written on the back of it. I didn't pay it no mind, but when that dude is playing the guitar and amp, and he comes in and he sees that $9,000 check stub, and he starts developing a plan. I don't know if he thought it was a check. I don't know if he knew it was a check stub, but he figured, hey, maybe I still might have $9,000 left. Be that as it may, he starts developing a plan in his head where he wants to come jack me. And I'll be damned, just a couple nights later, happened to be there by myself. Roommate worked nights. Everyone knew that. I'm there by myself. I'm in my room. Door shut but not locked. And I got a big window that faces the street. I'm always looking out. It's a very busy street. I'm listening to music. I'm in my room by myself. No one's at the pad but me. I'm looking out the window. And I see this idiot that played my guitar and amp, that came to see the baby. I see him park somewhat down the street. Clumsily, he like flips the U. He backs up. Then he decides to pull forward. And he's real clumsy and awkward, drawing all kinds of attention. Couldn't help but see him. He parks and gets out, puts a t-shirt, pulls his t-shirt with his arms out of it, and goes to put his t-shirt on his head like a ninja mask. And starts walking up to my pad from 4 or 5 houses down, and he comes up on the porch. He walks right in my house and walks right in my room and pushes up on me. And the thing that really sticks out about the story the most, the thing I know I'll never forget, the bell that rings the loudest when I think of this whole situation is what he said to me when we got in. He said to me, break yourself. Dude, I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. I felt embarrassed for him. Dude, that is so cheesy. All cheese, no macaroni. I can't believe anyone would ever say, break yourself. I mean, I've done lots of robberies. I don't say anything. A lot of times I'll just stick them or punch them. Or if I say anything, I'll just say, give it to me. But never would I say, break yourself. He said that, and you know what I did? I remember it being an overhand. It wasn't premeditated. That's just how it rolled. I came with an overhand, and yep, I stuck him twice in the shoulder. Dude, I already had a banger in my hand, a burner in my hand. As soon as I saw him clumsily park and start walking up to the pad, of course I armed myself. I didn't know what this fool was going to do. Next thing I know, though, he's in my bedroom talking about break yourself. I hit him twice in the shoulder. Now, I mentioned before that a lot of times when someone gets poked, they will run in a circle or they'll run in an oddball direction, maybe out in the middle of the street instead of this way to safety. Now, over here is a big field with the house with open doors, and they'll run into the middle of the street or they'll run into a wall. And my room had two exits. It had the bathroom door that led to outside, the back door, and it had the front entrance to my bedroom, which led to the living room. Now, at the front door, he could have taken any one of those, or he could have jumped out the bedroom window that was huge as hell. It had a screen, but the screen would have just bent at his body weight. He could have jumped right on through it. I mean, I would if I had poke holes in me and I was nervous and scared. But instead, he decided to run in a circle and run into the wall. Dude, I seen the grip. And then when he pulls himself against away from the wall, I just say, get out of here, get out of here. And he took off. The bad part about it, though, paranoia will destroy you, because I had just moved in this pad. I just given this dude the money and the deposit. But I got paranoid, thinking that he was going to call Johnny Law. He's going to press charges and bust me for it. That I just rolled up my stuff and moved the hell out of there. It was a somewhat of hiding. But he wasn't mentioned to nobody because he was embarrassed and he thought he was going to get in trouble. He thought he was going to get in trouble for pushing up. And see what I'm saying? When you don't come with clean hands, when your conscience, homeboy, will get the best of you, and you'll think that you're the bad guy. So here I am running, and here he is running. We both think we're in trouble for the same damn thing. But anyways, be that as be that as it may, not much to add to that story. Let's get on to the next one. So trip on this. I know a lot of people in the Point of View crew are recovering addicts, and I love that. It just, dude, makes my heart fill with joy knowing that a lot of you guys have kicked the habit and you're into recovery and you're into sobriety. But before you could get into recovery, before you can get into sobriety, you have to be addicted. You have to be strung out. You have to be chasing the sack. So I know a lot of you guys, once upon a time, were addicts chasing the sack. So you're going to be able to relate to this next story. And what happened was 3 or 4 of us had pulled our money together and we're going to pitch in and get a big sack, get a clavo. I mean, I had a little bit of money for my wake up. Homeboy had a little bit of money, and homegirl had a couple bucks, and we all met up. And it's like, hey, instead of us all buy a little bit for ourselves, let's pull our money together and get something big. So we all put our money together. We made a call. Someone was on their way to hook us up, and the money sat there on the table. And a dude from next door walked in, wanted to borrow some punch or some sugar so he could make Kool-Aid, and he's bullshitting with the homeowner, and he's this and that, and then he walked out, and our money was gone. And we all knew he was the one to take it, because it was right there. None of us would take it. It was our money. We're waiting on the guy to come bring us something. Now we can't get what he's bringing because we don't have the money. We're all pissed off. It had to be this fool. So I left right away, and I went next door to his pad, knocked on the door, hands. I said, dude, I know you took our money. When you came in there, I know you grabbed the money off the table. I don't remember how much time I gave him, but I said, you have a short amount of time to return the money or I'm going to stick you. I'm going to get that ass straight up. And so he said, oh, I don't have it. I said, dude, you got a little bit of time to return it, brother, or you're going to get got. Now, how the game is, bro, it's very fluid. Things move very fast. Even though we'd all pulled our money, and we're waiting on someone to come, and dude took our money. I wasn't like sitting on him, waiting for him to return it. Someone else came by. My focus shifted. I ended up on another mission. I ended up running around doing something else. Before you know it, I forgot all about us pulling our money together and having it sitting there and dude come taking it. Dude, I was on to the next batch. I was on to the next pad, the next thing. I was just already out there doing some other type shit. I forgot all about it. Showed up at the pad the next day, though. Went around back and saw a baggie, like a plastic freezer baggie, next to the pad I was at with money in it. Thrown up against the side of the house. This is like 5 a.m. The sun's barely coming up. And I pick it up. I'm like, what the heck? And I was like, oh, this is that money that the dude took. It was the exact amount that all 4 of us had pitched in. I was like, oh, dude, he returned it. He put it, but he didn't want to return it and say here. So he just like put it in a bag and like threw it up against the house, figuring we would see it. Here I see it. But instead of thinking to myself, oh, that's cool. I'm glad he returned the money. He's good now. He's in my good graces. I'll forgive him. No, all it did was piss me off all over again. No, I just got mad because then I was like, I remembered him taking it. And even though he gave it back, I was still pissed. I was thinking, who does he think he is? I was thinking he must think I'm some kind of punk if he thinks he can come in here and just take this money that I was involved in, that I had my money in this pool, we're doing something. He must just think I'm some sort of bitch that I would allow it. I mean, the other three people we all put the money in, there was four of us, five of us, whatever, they probably let it slide. They probably wouldn't do anything about it. They're not over here going to trip on it. But I was thinking, I'm different. I'm built different. I'm cut from a different cloth. I'm going to handle it. Not going to let that fool push up on me and jack me. So I went and beat on his door with the money in my hand, and he answered, and he probably thought I was going to say, hey, thank you for turning the money. Instead, I gut shot him. I didn't even go for no shoulder, none of that bullshit. I just took the stiletto, homeboy, and I was so mad, I just gut shot at him. And he just fell back into the house, fell on the ground, kicked the door shut, and I just took off walking. The crazy thing about it is, he jumps up eventually, Cállate, way! And says, I got to call an ambulance. I got to get some medical attention. I'm bleeding. And people at the house, people in the neighborhood at the apartments right there, said, no, you can't call any kind of medical personnel because that's like snitching. Dude, and I've seen that in prison happen. Someone will get hurt. They will not let them seek aid because that's snitching, they say. And I've seen it happen on the streets where someone gets hurt and they will not let them get medical attention because, no, it's like you're telling. What are you going to tell the ambulance when they get there here? That homeboy got you? Are you going to tell them that you cut yourself shaving? You slipped in the shower? What are you going to say? And he's like, no, I'll just tell him I have an abscess. I have an abscess anyway. I'll just tell him. So they said, all right. So I overheard his conversation. He called an ambulance. Oh, can you please come get me? I have an abscess. It's gone septic. My blood's poisoned. I'm real sick. A temperature of 103. And bro, ambulance came and said, these look like puncture marks to me. He's like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. He held his mud. He didn't tell, because if he did tell, where's he going to go? He's right there in the hood. He's standing right there in the apartments where the bag's getting slung and all the junkies are kicking it. Bro, it would not have been safe for him to tell. So he took it. I seen him after that, and hopefully he never tried no beeswax like that again. Let's get on to the third story. Now in this one, I would get clowned a lot, and you're going to find out why in a minute. So I'm kicking it. I'm at my homegirl at Glenna's house, rest in peace. She'd deal once in a while. She had the sack and she'd push it. I'm at her pad. A lot of times I'd have her back. She lived in a dangerous apartment, dangerous part of town, and just slinging, homeboy, is a dangerous game. People would try to attack her and rob her and push up on her. I'd try to be there, have her back as often as possible. So I'm kicking back, and the reason why people made fun of me, because a dude came rolling in and didn't even see me. People like, Splinter, you're so slim and trim like a bicycle rim. You're so skinny, Splinter, that you just blended into the atmosphere. You just like sunk into the couch and disappeared. Dude didn't even see you when he came in. That's how thin you are. Be that as it may, homeboy. Glenna, she had the whole pad was hers, but she always stayed in her bedroom. And her bedroom was accessible by a big sliding glass door. So this dude just came into the sliding glass door, and he came and he pushed up on Glenna. The crazy thing about it was, he was tripped out because he thought Glenna was hiding his girlfriend from him. He had a girlfriend that he lived with. I guess he put hands on her. He was mean to her. She left. And I guess that he thought she came to Glenna for help and Glenna was hiding her, which could be nothing from the truth. Glenna didn't know where homegirl was at. If she did know, she probably would not have told him, but she didn't know. And dude came in. And the crazy part about it is he was saying like mean, threatening things to her, but he was saying them in a real calm voice. And I couldn't even hear it because I'm back here, and she's sitting in a chair over here, and he walks up, and he's standing over her, and he's just saying, and all I can hear is that it's a cool, calm voice. I can't make out the actual dialect. I can't make out the actual words, that they're actually mean, threatening words, cuss words, like, hey, that's my lady at. But he's saying it niceful and joyfully, and that's all I could pick up on. It wasn't until she looked at me, and I saw fear in her eyes, that I had, you know what I had in my hand at the time, was a comb. You have to get these combs from the beauty supply store, but it's a metal comb. It already comes with a tip on it, but he sharpened that tip just a little bit better. Now the area where the bristles are at, bristles, whatever, the comb part of the comb makes for an excellent handle if you work it just right, and it comes with a great tip. It won't bend. Dude, a metal comb. And also, if you're not allowed to have a filetto and get caught with it, you say, it's a comb. I had this in my hand. Once Glenna looked at me, and I could see that she was fearful. I could see that this was a problem. This dude actually brought some drama to the pad. I jumped up. I didn't mean to get him in the shoulder because I was going for a shoulder thing, but as it did, because that's where it connected. I just swung with my comb, happened to get him right in the shoulder. And that's what I noticed when he turned around. He had a piece in his hand. I didn't even see it. That's what tripped Glenna out. That's why she looked at me, and she was so spooked. But the thing about it is I got him just right in his shoulder. He tried to use his arm to bring his piece up, and he couldn't. His arm was like a gummy worm, homeboy. I stuck him in some nerves or something. And I seen that happen in prison with one of my good friends who passed away at New Folsom. He got shot by the cops, putting in work. Homeboy, but he stuck somebody with a pin at Wasco State Prison. And it made the dude's arm do the same damn thing. A metal pin. He tried to snake on him and punch him after he got stuck. And his arm was like a dummy arm. Same with me. I hit him with that comb. And he turns around. And I could tell he's trying to use his arm. But he didn't drop the filetto, homeboy. It didn't make his arm all the way weak where he lost his grip. He had his grip, but he couldn't swing, and he ended up running out. He got ghost, homeboy. He shook the spot. And good thing he did, because there was troops arriving. They heard the commotion in the living room. They were coming through, and that fool would have got stomped out. Be that as it may, I need to do some shout-outs soon. I got love for the Point of View crew. And a lot of you dudes are just, I got so much love, I just want to share it with the world. But every time I go do shout-outs, I'm like, this ain't the video for it. There's going to be a video for it soon, though. I'm going to name the names. I'm going to throw it out there who the Point of View crew, who the guys are, bro, that are making a big difference in my life. And who I love with all my heart, homeboy. No shame in my game. I'm a cut string, let it fly. Peace.